This is Rock from BC Rich at NAMM 2009, kind of showing some of our history here and showing their shapes and kind of some evolution, some features that we've had throughout the years. The first one, as people know, are the Seagul models. They were the original body design that Bernie did. It kind of had a point up here at the top. People recognize that, and some people did not like that point, and it poked a little bit. So he went back to the drawing board and he created the Eagle model out of the Seagull model. And if you look at the two side by side, you can see that the right side, as you're facing the guitar, is identical on both, because he was just trying to redesign that point there. Quite recently, after he did that, he started with the Mockingbird shape. The Mockingbird shape caught on because it was slightly different, but again, it was a well-made guitar from his roots. Shortly after that, the Bich guitar was made, also in the late 70s, is about where we are in the history there. So the Bich guitar came about as a 10-string originally, and the Bich guitar was a 10-string. It was a new invention. They came out with full octaves and all kinds of bells and switches, and that really made a name for BC Rich in that era. In the 80s, when MTV came about, the points started coming about. So that's when our Warlock shape was actually developed. The Warlock is obviously one of our signature known pieces. When you just see a silhouette of a Warlock, you know that it's a BC Rich. There were many players throughout the 80s that played these things. So that's when the tradition kind of grew. Then we're looking at other models started developing, for instance, like the Stealth model. The shape there, kind of a starfish looking thing. That came about. The ASM joined us in the mid-80s. This is when the shredder market was out, and that was when the double cutaway came about. There were other models like the ASM, the Gunslinger, the Assassin models, the Outlaw. All of these were double cutaways that came about during that time, and they're still with us today. Junior Vs came out in the 90s, 92, 96 era. Junior Vs, Speed V, all of these collection of Vs kind of came out at the same time. Again, more aggressive from our roots, but still very much a part of BC Rich. Then we had Virgin, the Virgo, the War Beast, the Draco. All of these are very representative of what BC Rich is, and that is shapes, and that's what we do. So one of the reasons we've stayed on top of the shape market is because we're not stagnant with our shapes. We let them develop, we listen to input from customers, and we try to develop shapes and models that they want. And so that's why we have so many through the years, is because we care and we want the shapes to be comfortable, aggressive, and dynamic to the player. So that's a very quick synopsis of the 40-year history. I invite you to look at more videos that we have online and kind of see the other ideas that we've had for this year. I'm Rock from NAMM 2009.